Morning, friends. Today we will see the in post lockdown how an account person and the team of accounts can work and get themselves ready for the audit in 2020. This is from a perspective of an organization, so not from a perspective of an auditor. And this is applicable for small and medium-sized enterprise. We have just gathered some information in such a way that uh, we will we have covered the four parameters which a person can do sitting at home, accessing the database from the organization. Right. So let us look at the uh, first slide, which is we have just mentioned that during this lockdown, one can think of many points of finalization and get prepared for accounts to be audited. This will help to complete preliminary work before the accounts team and get into the office after lockdown. One thing, friends, you should very clearly understand this that once the lockdown is lifted, then you should have data readily available to see that you can get the printout and keep ready for the auditor. Some checklist is prepared in general, so people can go through it. We have seen that sometimes people work very nicely, but they forget to prepare the finalization file. So we uh, will appreciate if the people do the finalization work, but after the lockdown, they should prepare the finalization file. This preparation is presented looking at the MSME, which I have already informed you. I have divided into two part, rather three part. One is preliminary preparation, second is secondary preparation, and third is general information. So let us look at the preliminary preparation. Look at the last year PDF of audited balance sheet, which is signed by the auditor, and find out any changes in 1920. Then prepare template and keep ready with the previous figures. So you will have an Excel sheet, copy all the last year figures into previous year figures so that you can always keep ready the template. Check the accounting standard applicability and any modification in AS during the last year. So you can check the previous year what was the accounting standards applicable and now what are the applicability. You should also ask your team members to go through accounting standard once so that post lockdown they should straight away go on to finalizing the checklist and the statements as per the accounting standards. And find out what are the statements, details can be prepared offline. So when you are at home, find out some Excel sheets which was prepared last time, which was demanded by the auditor last time, and you can prepare in the current year. Send emails for the debtors and creditors confirmation within the organization. So maybe your customers are not working, your suppliers are not working, but within the organization, your sales team and your SCM teams are working. So you can always send a mail to them to confirm internally. Then after the lockdown is lifted, you can send the balance confirmation to customers. Send email for the following confirmation: 1, advances, loans, and interest given to employees. 2, bank balance confirmation. Banks are open. So you can always send a mail to them for the confirming the balances of the loans, any outstanding for the bank guarantees, etc. Fixed deposit confirmation, and you can always get the accrued interest calculation from the bank so that you can prepare the income reconciliation. Then tour advance confirmation. If any employees have taken tour advances, ask them to submit the bills by email and settle the tour advance and balance if any tour advances. Then they should confirm that these are the tour advance confirmations. Going forward to preliminary preparation, we can send mails for secured and unsecured loan confirmation to any financial institutions or within the shareholders or within the directors. Then advance to suppliers and advance from customers. Then travel vouchers on emails. You can always ask your team members to get the vouchers on email, Excel sheet, and you can pass the entry. And after the lockdown get lifted, you can collect from the hard copy. Send emails to exports team for the export receivables confirmation and any third party for the provision for the expenses. Now, friends, we will go for the secondary preparation. These are the preparation which your team member will have to do. sitting at home and having some backup at their end uh, at home. So, or they can online access your server and do the this part. We have divided into 4 parts: assets, liability, income, and expenses. So if we go to the asset side, then as you all know that we need to check receivables and advances knocked off. If any suspense entry passed, then reverse it after getting the information. Check export receivables and pass an entry for the foreign currency fluctuation. So you can do that offline. Advance to suppliers and pass an entry for the foreign currency transaction if the advances is given for the import transactions. Pass necessary entries for GST monthly yearly closure. Close any prepared expenses by checking entry expenses. You can prepare a statement for the audit verification. Then valuation of inventory can be closed based on the book stock. Then physical stock, maybe you are not able to take the physical stock, but after lockdown you can see what are the variances and take the call accordingly. But as of now, you can have the valuation of inventory as per the books of account and keep it ready for the audit. Bank reconciliation, you can always keep ready, save a soft copy of the bank statement, bank reconciliation, and get the printing once you are in the office. Fixed assets schedule can be prepared mostly by 18th March. All the fixed assets must be capitalized and assuming that we can prepare the fixed asset schedules. We can work out the depreciation as per the Companies Act, as per the Income Tax Act also. Any sales during the year, if you have done, then check in the sales register and pass necessary entries for the profit or loss onto that particular assets. Balance with GST authorities can be closed. Quantitative analysis can be closed by with a reference to Schedule 3 requirement. I'm talking about the sales FG reconciliation with the quantitative details and raw material, principal raw material requirement to be disclosed in the notes to accounts. Now we come to liability side. As we know that we need to be very careful while we see the liability side, we need to confirm the liability balances. So we start with any share capital infusion, then we need to prepare the statement as per the notes to accounts. Similarly, for the reduction of the share capital or the bonus issue or any kind of shares issues, right issues. The liability of PF, ESIC, PT can be worked out and can be closed in the books of account. Maybe you can pay as per the revised guideline or revised information from the government in the month of May if the waiver is given for 2 months, 3 months. Treatment of gratuity and actuarial valuation can be taken. Adjustment of provision for tax with reference to AO received if in the last year we have received any intimation and it is a clear intimation, then we can knock off the provision for tax and advance tax, and we can close that liability and asset account so that we will have a good current ratio. For 43B, preliminary details can be worked out, although we have a time to make the payment till 31st of October or September as per the deadline of the under section 139. Then we have a provision for expenses. Send a mail to all your team members that if you have spent any money which is pertaining to the March 1920, then they can send you the details and you can make the payment later, but you can provide those particular expenses. Mostly we can ask for the admin bills or IT service bills or AMC bills of the organization and get it recorded on a soft copy basis. Also, we can do that printing and accepting the original bills after we resume the office. Provision for employees benefit can be worked out as per the accounting standard AS 15. Then contingent liability we can work out. We can keep the status ready for IT or excise cases or any sales tax cases are going on, and we can work out that. The payment schedule we can work out and get ready for the notes to accounts, because as per the notes to accounts we have to give some records. The contingent liability on account of LC and BG we can work out. Income side we can it's very simple, but we need to check whether the sales is closed, and quantitative details of finished goods can be worked out from the income side. Other income details can be worked out, keep ready for the audit. There may be some other income like scrap sales or any other interest received on certain small investments, etc. Some companies are getting MEIS and SEIS and drawback income, so we can keep ready those calculation and account in our books of account. FOB value of exports we can keep ready. So for the notes to accounts, we can have these particular details. Any other income, if in foreign currency we have received, we can keep those details also ready. Reconciliation of income and TDS, which is necessary for the audit, as we do for the expenses, we can keep ready, and we can check after we resume office, after we get the 26 days getting generated. Expense side, always we need to see that if we can scrutinize the GL account, then it is better. And once we do that, we can have the foreign currency expenditure list, which is also required for as per the Schedule 3 requirement. CIF value of imports, then borrowing cost as per the accounting standard, then prior period expenses or income we can work out. MTM, mark to market, any provision is to be made for the foreign currency fluctuations or the transactions, open transactions, we can do as per the accounting standard. Details of MSME creditors, we can work out so that after the audit, we can provide for the interest and disclosure can be worked out. Expense side, again, we have scrutiny of the expenses into capital expenses or revenue expenses. Your staff may not have bifurcated while putting the data entry, which you can do as you have a good amount of time sitting at home. Then we have any 14-year disallowances for any investment done for exempt income. Then related party transaction. This is the most important thing, where we have a transaction with the related parties where a lot of calculation is required. There we can have the transaction ready and closing balances if almost those transactions must be closed by 31st March, so that we can work out. Custom duty expenses we can transfer to respective expenses and balance amount to GST. If it is a part of the IGST, then if the company is into CSR activity, get the all expenses list ready, supportings are ready so that we can get audited. If the company is into R&D, then we can always prepare the R&D records. We can keep disclosure ready for AS15 employee benefit. Now, friends, we go to the last part, the general information. We can keep ready review of accounting policy if there is any change. Mostly, normally there is no change in such small and medium scale enterprise. But if it is, then we can overview that. Work on certain details normally asked by the auditors every year. So you, as a part of the trend, you must be knowing that the auditors are always asking these details. So you can prepare that. Keep internal audit report ready if you are falling under the internal audit report, then so that auditor can review easily. You can also send those reports now to the auditor for their understanding and reviewing. One more thing, you can also send some backup of your transactions to the auditor so that they can also have the preliminary review of the accounts. Keep all forms uploaded ready, whatever you have done during the year of audit on a MCA site. Keep ready details related to ICDS for audit. Keep ready the impact of COVID-19 on your financials of 1920, because it may be possible that the government asks for the impact on the financials. If expenses till February are accounted, one can keep TDS reconciliation ready for the tax audit, and once the lockdown is lifted, then we can work for the March transactions. Tax audits details like PF, ESIC, PT, month-wise transaction, any delay in the payment which can be worked out and keep ready. Although 43B payment statement can be kept ready afterwards. Depreciation as per the income tax can be kept ready. And lastly, friends, there are certain informations where payment related parties can be prepared. There are many other details in case you feel that at least part of the data can be generated sitting at home. You can do that. Save all, one request friends, save all the soft copy in one folder, so that and within that folder you prepare the different folder based on your requirement, so that what will happen is when you go to office after the lockdown gets over, you can take out those details and take the printout, arrange in such a way that the auditor should not take much time, or he will appreciate your work done, so that the printouts, although it is necessary for the audit, it will be easy for you to get the printout done and prepare the finalization file for the audit purposes. Many more things, which this is just an example what I felt that I should share with the people who are in accounts in finance but not able to go to office, and if they can work on these details after the month of May or maybe mid of May, when they go to office, it will be easy for them, and they will not be pressure on them to do all the things at a time. Apart from the routine transaction in the month of May, if you are going to office and do finalization also, it will be a very big burden or pressure onto you. So whatever you think that in this lockdown, sitting at home, you can do for the audit purpose or any kind of compliance purpose or cost audit report or tax audit report or audit report or GST, if you can close early, so that the details to be fetched in certain Excel sheet for the GST audit, then everything you can work. Still, we have 15 days more time. We can do such thing for the audit purpose. So friends, this is what I felt to share with you. Thank you very much.